Hello, hello, and welcome. I am excited to be with you here this evening. So I really wanted to get with you and just connect with you. There's a lot of really good energy up, some interesting energy up, and I wanted to help clue you into some of that, being that we've had some really wild and some really challenging energy up here for a while. So it's Monday evening, and hi there, welcome Gayatri, so glad you're here. Just people are just starting to hop on. It's Monday evening. You can go ahead and say hi, and all right, hi Gayatri, and where you're from. It's always great to see and great to hear. And anyway, just this energy that we have up, I really wanted to clue you guys in about it so that you could make the best use of it. And also wanted to talk to you about a couple of other really special things. I just came off of a retreat that I was holding for my VIP clients. And I really only do live events, live retreats for my clients in my business academy and in my VIP program. And it was just so great to have this amazing group of people together and all the transformation that took place, all the, hey Pam, all the great transformation that happened during that time, the breakthroughs, the, finding pieces of themselves that they could take out and be not only re-inspired, but really feel like they have more of themselves to take with them and take out for a drive, let's put it that way, in their movement. And your movement is really what I want to talk to you about today. So Gayatri saying, yes, that we definitely need some good energy up here. We do. And before we get totally started here, let me just reel back for a second because I've already dived in. A lot of you know me already. If you're here, you may already know me. And if you're not, and if you don't, I just want to take a moment to introduce myself. I'm thrilled you're here. I'm Prema Gurreri. And my core mission is to inspire you to live from the inside out, to really live from the inside out. And I really help entrepreneurs and visionaries and change agents to lead with their highest value gifts, not just what you're good at, what you're most amazing at, whether you know that yet or not. I so love to help you discover that and get past anything that's holding you back from actually using your highest value gifts and to, do the work that you're here to do. Because the fact of the matter is you came here to do something special. And you have something to unlock in the world that only you can unlock in the world. You want change. We all want change. We all want transformation. But the thing is you have a realm of change. And if you're not doing that, if you're not being that, because it's more about who you're being, then it's not happening. So it's so important for you to really own your gifts, step into them. Whether you're in a time of changing careers, you're just tired of denying that part of yourself, you're scared and you don't know exactly how to do it. You've been doing it for a while, but it's not time to step up to the next level. Doesn't matter where you're at. There's always the next breakthrough, the next opening, and the next practical action that you can take. And the energy we're in right now is really supportive for that. And I really wanted to bring this to you today, talk a little bit about the energy and talk also about something special I have for you and what this energy is calling you to step into so that you can absolutely make the best of use of it. I like to think of this kind of energy as grace, wind in your wings, grace in your wings. And let's face it, we have had so many, Linda, hi Linda. We've had so many challenging aspects over the summer. Oh my gosh, such challenging aspects we've had. This Mars Mercury and this solar eclipse. I won't go all down that road, but the thing is that energy has passed. We're dealing with the fallout from it. And now we've got some grace. So we've got a lot of light, and you're a light worker. If you're here, you've got a mission. And so you want to use that light and not be stuck in the old energy to step forward. So that's what I want to share with you this evening. So say hello, throw me some hearts, share where you're at in the world, and what is it what your movement is? If you're aware of what your movement is in the world, I want to hear about what that is. I want you to share that with each other. And by connecting here in this forum, you're in a like-minded, like-hearted community. Hi, Diana. Great having you here from Calgary. It was awesome to actually do your reading today. And just mentioning that too, that Well, actually, I'll talk about that a little bit later about the Sacred Wealth Code. I'm excited about some of the opportunities and some of the things coming up involving your Sacred Wealth Code, and not only my new book, but some new things that I'm doing with the Sacred Wealth Code. And I want to invite you into that. And so, in fact, you know what? I'm just going to say this now, and I'll say this a little later too, that I'm going to look at somebody's chart tonight and just let them know a certain aspect about their wealth code, or if they know what their wealth code is already. Like Diana got a wealth code reading already. I know that Linda's here over on Instagram Live, and she's had a wealth code reading. So, and if that's the case, then I will be giving you a gem about that, or answering a question about that. I won't be able to do everybody, but I'm going to pick one tonight. So if you want to add that in, then you can absolutely add that in. Hey, Karen, great to see you here. You know, this is really a conversation for us. You're going to see me a lot more live on this format more and more and more. And in fact, I'll be here Wednesday again too. And I really want you to bring me your questions. I want to help you take every step of, take that next step that you need to take, because look, we're all in this together. I may be a few steps ahead of you. There's people that are ahead of me, but I'm here to serve you, and you're here. So let me help you, and asking your questions as they come up. This is a conversation. This isn't just, me talking at you or just a class. This is a conversation with us, and I love to get to know you all so much better. Okay, so let me jump into this energy update here. So as long as we have a huge amount of light right now, and we have where Venus is and where Mercury is and where Jupiter is, and soon to be the new moon as well on the 19th, where the planets of light are, like all these three planets together create a Saraswati yoga. We don't quite have that going on now. We had that earlier this year, but the beautiful thing about the energy that we do have is that it's bringing light in two places: practicality, and let's face it, we need that inner transformation. We need to open up on an energetic level. And I believe, as my mission is to really inspire you from the inside out, we need to align our energy first, right? And then we need to take action. Because what happens when you don't? If you don't align the energy first, it's like getting in the car, you don't know where you're going, you don't have a map, you haven't checked the oil, and you start driving down the road, and it's so much easier to get there, so much quicker, so much smoother if you actually do have the map. You know where you're going, and you're flexible about how you get there, but you actually have the map, and you do have gas in the car, and there's air in the tires as well. So alignment on the energetic side first is so, so, so important. But then we want to take that practical action. We want to get in the car and drive. You want to get your message out to your tribe. You want to have that next career position that actually honors your gifts, that practical action that you need to take. So we need both. And when we're tied up with, okay, I'm talking fast, I know. So when all that energy starts to download and that information starts to download, I just can't help it. It just comes in quickly, and I'm trying to keep up with it. So I do have the ability on an energetic level to turn it down a little bit. So I'll do that. I'll slow it down a little bit. So we need to get practical about things. And this energy that we have right now is, and I'm talking about Vedic astrology and reading the energy on an intuitive astrological level, and allowing us to really tap into healing, and so the healing of the planet or the people on the planet, or your own personal healing in a practical way. That's part of the energy we have going on. And then we also have this energy in Libra of social balance, of peace, of harmony. And we could use some harmony and some peace more than ever right now. You know, the beautiful thing about peace isn't just chilling out, okay? In that place of peace, when we have peace inside, we can actually take so much more action. We can be open to our own inspiration. We can feel ourselves and our own power, as opposed to being inundated with all the mixed energy around us all the time. And I know, as a change agent, I know as a visionary, a light worker, you are sensitive. You are sensitive. So you have to learn how to have those energetic boundaries. But then you need to know how to get your energy across as well. But this sense of harmony is so important to us. Well, we have a lot of energy around peace and harmony and coming into the balance. And it's an interesting kind of balance because where it happens to be at in Libra, it's before we go into the darker time of the year, or as we move towards the darker time of the year. And the darker time of the year is just not so much light on the outside. It's about magnifying your light on the inside. That's what it's about. And the more you can do that, and that's your gifts are my favorite way to magnify that energy on the inside. Because when you're aligned with your gifts, your divine gifts, your highest value gifts, then you are aligned with the best of you and also what the world wants from you all at the same time. And you can get out of your head, move from your heart, move from your soul all the way down to the soles of your feet. And you can really take those inspired actions that you're here to take, that practical energy that part of the Mercury-Venus connection is bringing us. And really the archetypes, the Sacred Wealth Code archetypes that go along with this Mercury-Venus connection. This is the great connector. And this is, are you, if you don't even know what your archetypes are, your Sacred Wealth Code is, you can always take the Sacred Wealth Code quiz. I'll drop the link in. Maybe you've already gotten your reading. I'll talk about a really exciting opportunity to not only get your Sacred Wealth Code, but to actually learn how to embody it, live it. And the biggest thing is break through anything that's keeping you stuck from standing in your greatness, from being aligned with the best of yourself. And we need that absolutely more than ever. So let's talk about this place of peace for a moment. Peace as this place of equanimity. When we are at peace within, and I work with a lot of people, and it usually comes down to, what do you really want? Peace, freedom. Those are the two biggest ones. And if we drill down underneath everything else, like, most people want to feel, free at some level and have that sense of peace and connection. And that's connection to the source of your being and connection to, the people and the resources that you want to. And that's exactly what your highest value gifts give you. They give you all of that beautiful connection. But are you stepping into them? Are you feeling them? This energy will also support you. And the energy I'm going to talk about right now is for the next year. For the next year, because of where Jupiter is. It is going to support you in the truth. We all want the truth to come out more and more. We all want the truth to come out more and more. And it is going to support you more so in the actual truth. And on a collective level, the truth we all seek, it's like a balancing of the scales. Jupiter's going to shine that big light there. And so we have, it's really calling the truth to come out. Now, in order for, this is the piece that I want all of you to know. How do you play a part in all the energy that you want to have shift the way you want it? And we've got some great, a couple of questions here, and I'm going to get to those in just a minute. So keep them coming, because this is a dialogue between us. I'm totally here to serve you. So as far as how do you be part of that truth, part of that change? You've got to step out of your fear. How do you step out of your fear? Well, first of all, you have to recognize what it is you're afraid of. And we're all afraid of something. I'm afraid of things too. When I was sitting here with my VIPs at their retreat, which was, again, if you just hopped on, I don't do a lot of live events, and I'm going to tell you about a really special opportunity here in just a moment, so just hang in with me. But just such a magical adventure. In fact, Karen was there, and I was really so thrilled that you were there. And one of the things that came up is, again, we're always looking at what's in the way. And there was such breakthroughs on purpose and mission and next steps and confidence in being seen. But we had to break through those challenges in order to get there. And some of the challenges that came up, and I see this across the board for all the people I work with, is the challenge of absolutely, vulnerability and being seen, being accepted, not rejected, being understood, really knowing which gifts to use when. These are, it's about, if we have to know ourselves first, and then we can give what we have, take our gold and give it back out to the world. So this time of coming into the truth means you have to learn to trust yourself. So I have a question for you right now. Do you trust yourself? When you get that intuitive hit, when you know that, like, just in your gut and your heart, like, okay, this is what I need to do next in my business. This is what I need to do next in my work, in my world. Or maybe you're a part of a foundation or a project. Maybe it's not your direct career, but in your career as well. Do you actually do it? Do you actually take that action? How often do you? And I want you to tell yourself the truth here. And here's one of my best simple things to help you to understand if you're telling yourself the truth or not. Just imagine you have a meter in your head and it's got a yes side and no side. And just watch the needle. How much do I tell myself the truth? Is it 100% of the time? Is it 50% of the time? Is it 75% of the time? Where does that needle go on your meter? Am I telling myself the truth right now? Good question. Here's why telling yourself the truth is really important. Because then you can trust yourself. When you trust yourself, you'll be able to actually take the next steps that you need to take. If you don't trust yourself, you won't. If you don't trust yourself, you will self-sabotage yourself. And it's not always easy to trust that inner guidance. It's not always easy to trust that intuitive hit. How many times you say, oh God, I should have, or I shouldn't have, or I shouldn't have. How do you know to actually do that? The way I know to do it is I feel it in my body. If I have question marks around something and I can't figure it out, I get help. And for me, y'all have to know how you're wired up. So for me, sometimes I need a trusted soul to be a sounding board for me while I do my self-check-in. Most of the time I can do it on my own, but I am human too. I need help too. So that's what I use to be able to trust myself. And the reason I can trust myself pretty well is because I have tried it enough times to fall and see when it didn't work and see when it did work, and got so tired of telling myself, I should have listened. I should have listened to myself. So throw me a heart, drop in and say yes. Has this happened to you? Is this happening to you now? And why it's so important is if you can't trust yourself, you're not going to move forward with your gifts and your movement. And if you don't, nobody's going to do the change you're here to do. No one else is going to do that. We all want this big shift. You chose to be born at this time. You chose to be part of this paradigm, whether you're aware of it or not. The paradigm is changing. We can keep creating the past, but the paradigm is actually changing by every choice each and every one of us make. That's why when you have your sphere of influence, that the people that you're here to help and serve and support and help to influence and light the path for, those people will actually get that from you. You will actually be creating more of that change and shifting the paradigm and where we're going. And we do want more peace. We do want more freedom. We do want more truth. And we want the truth that needs to come out. Okay, so I am going to take a deep breath here. And hey, Will, great to see you here too. If you have any questions or anything you want to share right now, go ahead and pop it in there in the chat. Feel free to share this around too with other people if this is resonating for you. And so Karen's saying she's trusting herself more than ever. Karen's been working with me for year and a half, almost 2 years now, and been doing a fabulous job at trusting herself. Gayatri, yes, I also feel like I am teetering on the verge of working with my high value gifts, but something seems to be holding me back. The energy has been building this year. Hopefully we'll have a breakthrough soon. Okay, I want you to have that breakthrough, Gayatri. So what I'm curious about for you is I want you to tap in, and this is for everybody. So if this is coming up for Gayatri, it's got to be coming up for other people too, because we're a soul group. We're all in this together. Hi, Alexandra. Welcome. So if you feel like you're teetering on that edge of a breakthrough, if you need more of a breakthrough, what I want to invite you to do is I want you to tune in for a moment, and I want you just to tune into what's holding you back right now from breaking through. How do you do that? You put your hand on your heart, you close your eyes, you take a deep, full breath. What's holding me back from breaking through right now? You tell yourself the truth. Remember, truth is a big part of what we're talking about today. You tell yourself the truth. So Gayatri, I'm interested to see what comes up for you, and I want you to share that so I can help you with that a little bit further. When I tap into your energy, though, it feels to me like two things. You may not be absolutely clear on how to use your high value gifts, so I want you to check in about that. And again, you can type in the chat and I'll help you here. And there's a fear that you have. It's connected to the fear of being seen, although your words for it may be a little bit different. I do this when I'm tuning in. I just close my eyes. And it feels like maybe you were put down or ridiculed in the past, maybe for some of your gifts, and that this is getting in the way. So we need to break through that. Okay. So just give me a little bit more info about that. Karen, I'm at the end here, I'm going to tune in and look at somebody's chart and and just explain one part of your wealth code to you. So if you want to put your birth data in, I will do that for somebody here. If you already have your Sacred Wealth Code, then I will not only, okay, Gayatri, so we're on about that. That's great. I will give you some more information about it. So go ahead and if you've got anything else to say, let me help you break through that. And Alexandra is also saying feeling stuck and not sure what's holding you back. Okay. And you have the gifts are the muse, the honorable warrior, and the teacher. Okay. Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful gifts. Okay. We'll come back to that in just a moment. So you're feeling, Alexandra, for you. So everyone hang on, because I'm going to come back because I have a surprise for you and I want to share that with you now. You have some of your attention that is really wound up in something else right now. And as much as you want to move forward, it feels like it's a different part of life, and that you are kind of hung up in that part of life, and that you might not be telling yourself the truth about it. I don't know if it could be a relationship. I don't know. I want you to check in with that and then chat back here with me. Okay. All right. So one other thing I want to, Karen wants to step out more, and it feels like sometimes just want to hide. Yes. Welcome to the club. Anyone else feel that way? Want to step out sometimes and want to hide? I feel that way too sometimes. You know, sometimes I want to step out fully and like I want to be here with you. And sometimes I just want to go into my cocoon. I just want to tune in. I don't want to tune out here. But you know what? Every time I push myself to do it, because I am an introvert as well, very much so, even more so than I'm an extrovert. Every time I do it, then something new shows up for me. You're also saying, yes, you do need to cut yourself some slack. You said you're frustrated with yourself, Karen. When you're frustrated with yourself, it's the same vibrancy as being in fear. Not quite the same frequency as anger, but close to that. Anger actually puts us in motion a little bit more than frustration does. Frustration keeps us stuck. I don't know. Frustration, I find, lives in the throat a lot of the time. And it's really from being too narrow focused with something and not pulling back enough to see all your possibilities. That's when you want to evoke the visionary. You want to step out of what you're doing. You want to open up. You want to stand back, and you want to get a bigger vision. You want to go back to the top of the mountain. You want to get back in your joy. Here's the thing, is that no one... Look, you are most attractive as far as the law of attraction goes, and we are all living the law of attraction. You are most attractive when you're doing what you love. When you are doing what you love, you are most attractive, and that's why I take a stand for you, being who you are, doing what you love, and then you get to have that sacredly wealthy life. That's fulfillment on all levels of your being. Yes, Gayatri, that may be a very good option for you. Actually, Gayatri is saying she may need to have a separate session with me for breaking through this. And yes, we may need to do that. Let me also share with you a surprise I have for all of you. And then I'll come back to some more questions and we'll look at somebody's chart and we'll talk a little bit more about trust. So I'm super excited because I don't work with people in person you don't see me live very often. Most of the time I am in this format, which is really wonderful and really lovely. But I also like to get out in the world a little bit. But most of the time that's with my VIP clients. That's with my Sacred Wealth Business Academy. But, I really had this inspiration as I was getting ready for this retreat for my VIP clients, which I do once a year. And I just so love that I really wanted to start to come out a little bit more. So I planned 2 Sacred Wealth Immersions. They're live and in person. One of them is happening in just a little over a week from now in New York City. I happen to be traveling there, and I decided, you know what? I want to get with a group of really committed entrepreneurs, change agents, visionaries, and really help them with their next level of breakthrough, but do it in a very Prema kind of way, which means we're going to go in deep. We're going to move a lot in a short period of time. So the Sacred Wealth Immersion, it's a 1-day immersion, and we will just dive into everything you need to fulfill your greater purpose. So look, if you've been wanting to break through your blocks, you want to discover your wealth code or learn how to use your wealth code, because we'll do both in this. In fact, a wealth code reading is involved in it, but if you've had it already, you're going to get a special bonus. And really be able to work in a small group setting. This will only be no more than 20 people, but have intimate, help from me right there on the spot. Well, I want to invite you to come in and work with me in the Sacred Wealth Immersion. It's on the 24th of October, and then there'll be one in November on the 17th. So if you live in New York, if you live an hour's drive, a day's drive from New York, come and see me. I still have space. This will be just held in a really beautiful place in Lower Manhattan. And again, this is going to be a very intimate group. We'll have yummy things, beautiful space. There'll be a little bit of an after party afterwards. You'll get your personal questions answered. You'll get your wealth code. You'll get your breakthroughs. If you've been living your passion, but working too hard and you're still not living in that abundance yet, you haven't found that place, or that there's something bigger waiting for you, but you just don't know how to access it yet. If the money isn't matching your gifts, there's something missing in there. If you don't know what those gifts are, or you're ready for that career change or that business change or that up level, it is time. If you just want to take your divine creativity and infuse it into your life, the immersion is just such a beautiful way to get a jump start, to shift things around in just a short period of time, really in this deep immersion in a day. So normally it's $5,000 to spend a day with me, a VIP day. And this is like a group VIP day. And all my groups are so very powerful. Karen's one of my VIPs. She can vouch for that. And with this immersion, you are, I really call it, your blueprint to creating happiness, and what I talked about earlier, inner peace and true wealth, because you have to actually know what wealth is for you. I'm going to, I'll do that now real quick. I'll drop the link here for the immersion in your, let's see, let me grab it here for a second. Oh yeah, I got it right here. That's what we love about being live and in person. Everything's just real time. Okay, so I'm going to drop this link into your chat. Let's see here. There we go. Figured out how to do this. All right. So if you want to check out the Sacred Wealth Immersion, then I want to invite you. Did that show up in you guys' chat? You guys can let me know if that showed up in the chat or not, okay? Yeah, I think it did. Okay, great. And I'll put it in again later. So the Sacred Wealth Immersion, it is $597 for the day. Again, usually it's $5,000 to spend a day with me, or, my programs are much more than that for the year. I don't do this very often. I don't know how much more I'm going to do this, but here's the beautiful thing is that I've got this one coming up in New York City next week. I also have in November on the 17th, I'll be in Sedona in a beautiful, really sacred vortex space, actually where we're going to be meeting in Sedona. And it's worth it if you live there. It's worth it if you have to drive there. It's worth it if you have to fly there. And I also want you to know that there is a bring a friend discount. And so it's half off for bringing a friend. You guys, most people will just split that discount. So if you want to come with a friend, you're going to end up with $150 discount each on that. So you can just message me and I can give you the information on that. But how many times do you go somewhere and you are thinking, oh God, so-and-so should have been here. So-and-so should have been here. So that's why, I'm bringing that bring a friend discount to you as well, because it's really important to spread the love and spread, what you are, what's enlivening you during this time. So again, I don't know how long, how many more of these I'm going to do, but if you're ready to really drop in and step up to the next level and do it with a quickly, and get started and really get going and know where you're going with your purpose, mission, and movement, and really break through to really what's your blueprint for wealth right now. What's your what's the next way for you to use your gifts? And the biggest thing, how to get over, those hurdles, those blocks that are in front of you that are keeping you from that. So if you have any questions about that whatsoever, post those here for me. I dropped the link in for you. Share the link. If you're not there and you know someone in New York or somewhere in that vicinity, or someone who's been looking for a retreat to go to in Sedona, send them the link. I love, I love the personal connection. And again, what you want for yourself, typically we want for other people as well. So send them. And over on Instagram, I will figure out how to drop that link in over there, because I've got Instagram Live going here as well. So I'm on Facebook Live right now. So any questions, ask me. You do get your Sacred Wealth Code reading. You do get the book. You also get personal time with me and an amazing group to network with people who are really on the path, movers and shakers. You get to share, your gifts. You'll be able to make connections that people always make connections in person like this, in these deep intensives that, last a lifetime. So it's never a mistake. If you feel the calling, don't get in the way. Don't let the money get in the way. Don't let the logistics get in the way. Then connect with me. Let's figure it out. You can PM me. You can post here also as well. So let me just check in here for what Alexandra is saying. I'm going through a lot of transitions. You closed your bakery cafe in January. Oh, right. Okay. And just had a baby 5 weeks ago. Congratulations, and moved to another state. Okay, 3 months ago. Girl, those are huge stressors. Having difficulty to get started on my new yoga business. And in terms of relationship, I'm with a husband that does not support what I want to do, coaching and yoga, and it's pretty negative. At this time, I depend on him as I'm not working and have children under 11. Okay, you have a lot on your plate, my dear. You have a lot on your plate. Hi, welcome. You have a lot of changes, okay? And you just had a baby. So what I want to invite you to do is, you and I have talked. You and I have talked about coming in and really coming into the Business Academy and doing some work together. And you're working on the resources to do that, Alexandra. And you've had a lot of transitions. And I just really want to commend you, because you've been really brave in making your transitions, closing the bakery. I mean, just having a baby is brave, but you've been really brave in your transitions. So I just really want to acknowledge you for that. And for right now, in taking your next steps, what I want to invite you to do is, more than anything, it's important for you to hold center and find center. So what I'm talking about today, about telling yourself the truth, really, and trusting yourself in each and every action you make. So that is going to be very, very important for you as you're getting your feet underneath you again, with having another baby, and with all the transitions that you've been going through. You need to get your roots down. One of the things that will help you get your roots down, though, is to understand what is your purpose and what is your mission right now. What is it that you're here to give, you're here to do, that no one else can do like you? You want to do the yoga and coaching business. And for you, it's important for you to really laser focus when I tune into your energy. It's really important to laser focus so that you are you've got a lot going on, and so you're not too scattered. That, welcome, so glad you're joining us. So that scattered energy, because you have a lot on your plate. Let's just face it, you have a lot to do and you have a lot on your plate, but that scattered energy, that will really hold you back. So I want you just to pick one thing a day to focus on. One thing a day, that has to do with your yoga and your coaching, whether that's, you're going to write a little bit about it, you're going to get a little clearer on your purpose today, you're going to take one of your gifts and start to use it. I believe you have your Sacred Wealth Code. You just take one of your archetypes and take one of your gifts. And this week, put that gift into action. We really work with that in the Sacred Wealth Immersion, but we really work with that in the Sacred Wealth Circle, as well as the Business Academy as well. So again, with this energy, I just see a couple more people popping on. I'm just going to circle back here real quick before you wrap up for today. It's the energy that we have going on wants peace, wants balance, wants us to step into that. So I want to encourage you to step into that peace, to step into that balance. And in order to do that, you've got to get really clear and focused on on trusting yourself, on trusting yourself. So let me tune you all in with your next step on trusting yourself. And those of you who know me have done this with me many times. And those of you who are new, just trust yourself and follow along. This is a great way for you to learn to trust yourself. So you can put your hand on your heart. You can close your eyes and take a deep, full breath. You're going to tune into your heart, soul central here, your heart. Okay? You've got the wind in your wings here to tell yourself the truth, to go forward, and to do the next step. So what I want to invite you to do is to breathe deep into your heart. And I want you to tune into what's one way, if I really tell myself the truth, what's the number one thing that's holding me back from trusting myself, from stepping forward right now? What's one thing that's holding me back? What do I need to break through? So first tune into that part. Love for you to share that too. What's coming up? What is, if you're really telling yourself the truth, what's the thing you need to break through? What's that thing you need to break through that you haven't broken through yet? Just tell yourself the truth. Even if you tell yourself the truth about what's holding you back, it's again, you can trust that in yourself. If you can trust yourself, you can start to move through and take action. If you can't trust yourself, you'll stay in frustration, confusion, struggle, spinning. And that's where fear wants to take you. I want to take you back home again. I want you to get you to moving forward, because that's my mission, to support you, not only from living from the inside out, to get out there and be that change agent that you actually are, and to trust yourself in your unique way of doing it. So what's that breakthrough that you need? What do you need to break through? I'd love to see those comments come through on that. And then let's tune into what's one inspired action you could take? Just one inspired action you could take to trust yourself more. What's something you can take action on in order to trust yourself? What would that be? Great. Jennifer just posted. Thanks, Jennifer. Just posted, welcome to. Change things up at work. Take the business in a new direction, not letting what the others there will think about the change hold me back. Okay. Okay, beautiful. It's hard when it feels like others are going to, other people's opinions are going to, are jamming your circuits, or you're going to be moving against the tide. That's a tough place to be. Again, that's one of the things I love to help you break through, is really standing solid in your own energy, in your own right. And Karen's also posting here about continuing to work on doing one thing at a time rather than being exhausted or distracted. Absolutely. One thing at a time is really super, super important. So that trusting yourself, if you take the action, here's what's at stake. If you take the action that's come up for you, if you actually do it, you will lay down another brick of trust in the road of trust. If you don't, there's just like another pothole. There's another place to fall into. The cost is high in not trusting yourself. It's hard to trust others if you can't trust yourself. What if we had a world where we could have more trust, and we knew who to trust and who not to trust, and when to trust and when not to trust? Super, super, super important. Super important. I want to invite you again to take advantage of this, this very rare opportunity to come and be with me in New York, live and in person, next week on the 24th in New York, in Manhattan. I put the link in the chat here, and I will drop it in again. Or to come to Sedona and come for a one-day retreat. We're going to get together from noon to 6. And we are going to dive deep into your wealth code. You're going to get your wealth code. If you don't have it, you'll get a bonus. If you already have it, if you want to bring a friend, you get a special discount. Just message me and say, I want to bring a friend, and the both of you can register and get a discount. And this will be no more than 20 people. This will be a very intimate group. You've got personal help like I do only in my private retreats. You will also get the benefit of being with a soul group. There'll be no mistake on who shows up. The connections you make may be exactly that connection you need. And you will have what you need to really know what not only your wealth blueprint is and your next action steps on stepping into it, but also your happiness blueprint and, your peace blueprint. Because look, we all, like I said, the energy is supporting our peace right now. Do you want to keep talking about the sacred wealth that you want to create, the movement that you're here to do in the world, or do you want to have a jump start into doing that now? And you will trust your intuitive sense. You align with your gifts. And when you do that, then you can move so much faster because you're not looking outside of yourself all the time. You know that your plan is in your soul blueprint. It is inside of you. So I want to invite you to, and again, I'll drop that in the chat right now. I want to invite you to, let's see here if I can do this. Yay. Come and check out the Sacred Wealth Immersion. And I really want to help you take your next steps. And this is going to be super, super pivotal, super wonderful. So I did promise that I would look at somebody's chart here. Nobody put if you want, no one put their birth data in, but I do have a couple of people on here that I know have had their Sacred Wealth Code readings. I'm going to take a quick look at, thank you, Karen. And Karen, you would know, you've had one of those rare experiences of being alive with me in person with a bunch of other movers and shakers and soul-aligned change agents and visionaries. And so, you can ask Karen. Karen can vouch for how powerful the work actually is. And it's really about jumpstarting. It's the fast track It's just the fast track. Let me just say that. And besides that, it is going to be so much fun. It'll be just a really wonderful, intimate time together. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at Alexandra. I'm going to take a look at your chart here real quick and give you just a piece of, I got to pull up my program here, so hang in with me, guys. And if you don't know what your Sacred Wealth Code is, you can obviously get a reading. You can come to the Immersion, which is even better. I'll drop those links in, but you can also take the Sacred Wealth Code quiz, which is totally free, and find out one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes. So there you are. I'm pulling up Alexandra's chart here because I want to just take a look here for just a moment at what she's got going on. Okay, so Alexandra, I just want you to know one of the things that you had been going through for this past year and really past year and a half, just with all the transits and the tough stuff that we've been having, has obviously been a very challenging aspect for you. That the aspect of the teacher and the connector is really on your ascendant right now, which is really a beautiful thing. Where this last year was all about relinquishment for you in many, many ways, and just part of the soul cycle you're in and stuff. It's been about letting go, relinquishment. That's all about spirituality, detachment. Let me let go. And when I let go, I create space for more. Then I can, but it's hard to let go. I mean, sometimes we hang on so tightly. We're so afraid to let go. And then we don't let what's new come in. Well, this has been a time of letting go, and you have been letting go. But as just this month, it's shifted to a time where there is a lot of light on you, and for you to come in truth with yourself absolutely is going to be incredibly helpful anytime, any place. But for you to come into truth with yourself is going to be easier now. And you have this light on you where you personally are going to be able to expand your energy. You're going to be able to expand your dreams so much more. The Honorable Warrior has been a challenging aspect for you over this last year. The Engineer, Honorable Warrior, and the Strategist, Mars rules all of those, and you have that component really in a tough place with that eclipse, and really for a good part of the year, and really even last year with Saturn. So that's coming into that's a better energy than it has been for a long time. So you're going to start to see your window open up. Hi there, welcome. Glad to see you here. Thanks for being here, darling. Okay, and if you have any questions, just pop them in there. We've been on here for a little while, but you'll be able to catch it the beginning when I'm done talking about trust in yourself today, talking about the energy update and what's going on right now. And really, there's the wind in your wings, as I'm talking about for Alexandra personally, that it is. You have so much more grace now, and I just want to acknowledge the tough time you've been in. But you're in a time where it's really, you're being invited to really balance the scales, really balance the scales. So focus, as I've told you, don't go forward as if it's going to be the same. Do not go forward as it's going to be as challenging it was for this last year, because it's not, but you can make it, because we're creating our reality. Remember, you are part of this paradigm shift by every single choice you make, whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're not doing, whatever choices you are making, aren't making. You're part of this paradigm shift. So I hope that's helpful for you, Alexandra. Again, lots of changes, but stay with it, okay? Stay with it, my dear. So if you are, again, really wanting to dive deeply into your Sacred Wealth Code and want to take advantage of this rare opportunity with me, then you'll want to join me in New York next week on the 24th. I will drop this link into Instagram here as soon as I get off this live here and I'm able to do that. And so that you can really have this deep immersion into understanding what your sacred wealth blueprint basically is. I don't do a lot of in-person things. This is like a live VIP day, small group, intimate group. Let's get together in a beautiful space, have some fun, but really do some deep transformational work, break you through what's holding you back, being on purpose. You need to step out with your message right now more than ever. You are a movement. You are a movement. Every choice you make, whatever you're doing, whatever you're not doing, what you're believing, what you're vibrating. And the best way to create what you want is by doing what you love. When you are doing what you love, your energy is high, your vibration is high. But what's keeping you from doing what you love? Well, I want to help you with that. So go ahead and check out that link, and I look forward to seeing you again here on live. I'm always here on Wednesdays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. I jumped on again today. I just was so excited. Couldn't wait for Wednesday, and I may even be here another time this week because we have lots of stuff going on. We have a new moon on Thursday. I'll talk about that a little more on Wednesday because that's a beautiful energy lining up with the energy of truth and trusting yourselves. Use that as the grace in your wings. Do not look behind you anymore, except for what you've learned, and look forward. And it's time to trust yourself and start taking practical action in that direction. Use your gifts. It is the best tools that you absolutely have. If you don't know what they are, get with me and let's get you tuned into your Sacred Wealth Code. So much love to you. I'll come back and check and everyone watching on the replay, so much love to you. I'll come back and check the comments and I'll answer any of them you have, and I'll drop the link over here in Instagram in just a moment here. So much love, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Share this around. That really helps to get the word out. Throw some likes or some hearts, but share this around so that other people have the opportunity to tune in and trust themselves and ride this energy too. Okay, blessings to all of you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.